Hello and welcome back to another episode of the RedOS series. So, last time we've built a little, let me just take this out and reboot this entire thing. We've built this, a little screen that should show RedOS as a sign that you installed the RedOS. It has two problems. It's right now going full Christmas edition on me, and it has this little text which always appears upon startup, and it kind of looks a bit bad. So, we're gonna fix these today. And without further ado, I think we're gonna jump right into the code editor. Oh, here we are. This was the thing we did last time. And the problem lies with the fade effect, but before we do that, I will actually really quickly do another thing, and that is, I'll repeat this little code here that makes sure that the terminal is clear and the cursor position has a 1-1 once we start. So, the fade effect. Now, what I've noticed is that we are editing the colors of the image, not the colors of the system. So, how Computercraft works when you're using colors, let me real quick just stop that little program, is when you go into a Lua shell. When you try to use colors, there's like colors.black and it has a certain number. This number is the exact number for black. Now, no matter what, I cannot just create colors out of nowhere. That's why we don't get a smooth fade effect, because it always tries to get to the next color. So, if it's just lightly red, it'll always try to get term.set background color, because we're using empty pixels, colors.red. It'll always kind of do this. And now, wow, you have the background color to red, but this changes nothing about the actual image. It just makes it look weird. So what we actually have to do, and that is something that is pre-programmed into, if my system could not just collapse, is pre-programmed into the colors API, and it's set. Was it in colors or term? No, I think it was in terms. Set palette color, and we can like select the color and then set its RGB values. Now there's actually a method for that. Let me real quick just os.reboot, so we end up here. There's actually a graphics lib call for that, especially for OS UI, and we can actually do that from here. So what we're gonna have to do, actually before we do that, is record all the RGB values that we had previously, or actually no, we don't, because I will just set them. I just need like colors that I can get to, so I'm gonna actually have to do that. So first we have to know what colors are in the logo. Maybe don't edit it, actually use paint. So yellow, red and black. Well, black we don't care about that because the background is already black, so I can actually remove that. But we don't need the black right now because the background of the computer is already black, and if it isn't, I'll really quickly add some code that always ensures the background is black. Or at least set to the color black. If the color black was changed, then I can't do anything. I'm sorry, mate. Just removing that. Save and exit. Okay. So now when we reboot, it's gonna have a problem because it tries to unpack an RGB value that doesn't exist. We don't care about that because currently there's just like a little issue. So let's get right to it. First up, do we still need a bitmap of the image? Not really, no. Because we are not going to change the colors of the image, we're going to change the colors that the image uses to render. So we're generally changing the colors that exist. We also can completely get rid of that, because it's not important right now. And I guess I'll just recode the entire bottom thing, because it is just easier to just do the whole thing from the beginning. We also don't need this function anymore. Turn to color map, or turn color map to image, is not important right now because we are not working with color maps anymore. So we now have an image, a sprite, a fade intensity, but we just care about those little values. So what we now do is I would create a list. I'll call it what should I call it? Colors, or a table actually. Colors table. Actually, there's a little function from the graphic library which I really love to have. Might come in handy, but do I really need it now? No. Let's just see if I need it later. So, colors table. Let me just have that one. Color table, colors table comes really close. Let me just, or used colors table, which will include another table that each time have their own little function inside of them that'll get executed. So first term dot get, or no wait, unpack RGB would actually be the thing. So colors dot unpack RGB, colors dot red, and I actually only need two because we just discussed black is not a color that I'll need. Color dot unpack RGB and colors dot yellow. Good. Now we have those in a list. I guess it's time to actually change them. So 000 in RGB is of course black, and I think it's to 255. 255, that's 5. That's white. So what we now want to do is we change the colors of these actively. So let's make a little appear true, and now what we do, while we're also gonna have to render the sprite, so we don't actually need the sprite nor the image, we just need these things. So while we appear, we'll go, actually let me also just add something, local original used color table, and have the exact same code so we know what to return to afterwards. We use the exact same thing, except this time it's to know when have we returned to what originally was that. Now I'm going to use OS UI set palette color. Was that how you wrote it? Wait, let me just get it directly from the library itself. Change set palette color. There it is. And we are not gonna use hex for this one, so I won't change a hex. I will actually change RGB colors. So what I now can do is first set it to 000. Of course, also this colors dot red, and the same for colors dot yellow. Another thing is we now actually only have to render the entire thing once, because colors on the terminal get updated not when I render or when I write something, but actually constantly. So that's one thing why you can only have 16 colors in Computer Craft, because there is only 16 colors from black to white. White is binary 1 and, or not binary 1, but actually like hexadecimal 1, and black is I think 16,000 something, yeah. So now what we do is each time that happens we take what the color value on here already is. So we go for I equals 1 comma the length of original color table do, and now each time we execute this, I is set to one of these tables containing 3 values that are the RGB, the original RGB. Now what we do is we take used colors table. Why did I actually set this to this if we're just gonna set it to 0, 0, 0? So I guess we don't need this. It's always these things in developing where you notice something later. We're gonna take the used colors table and gonna add a certain amount that is controlled by fade intensity to yeah, gonna add that to how much they are. So for each original color we are gonna do used colors table 1. Actually wait, no, I is 1 is the element we're right now on, so used colors table I equals used color table I, and of course we can't just use I because this is a list, and Lua doesn't get that we're trying to add values inside the list to it. There are programming languages who can do that, they have certain code for that, but not this one. Times equals plus, and now a little calculation, original color table I1 times our fade intensity. One thing we do have to do is make sure that we don't overshoot with these, because you know, that could happen. So what I'm actually gonna do is, if not, let me real quick just add an if clause here, and I'm probably gonna add that everywhere, but let's first program that, then I'll really quickly do a time lapse how I add the rest to them, and then we can have that hooked off. So if not, used color table bigger equal to color table original, then do this. Okay, now I'm really quickly gonna do a time lapse how I add these to all the ones whilst keeping this number updated as we go down. Actually, really quickly, I'm also gonna have this, and now it's time to add that. Okay, I'm back. We've just did this. And yeah, now once we're done with that, it's actually time to apply these. So let me just do this little thing, add this here, and what we can do here is actually table.unpack, which takes each value in the table and enters it as its own like argument to the function, and we're just gonna do this. Not copy the entire code, but actually just take this. Wait, no, I actually just need this, but replace I with 1, because I right now doesn't exist. And I can just do the same again. Let me grab this and copy it over. Don't be so stubborn. And do this. So now we do this whilst the peer. Now what we check actually is, again, we just do it for 1. If it's bigger equal, then appear equals false. But first we're actually gonna sleep for wait time. That is important. Wait time and end. And of course we can't have I. I'm just gonna enter 1. So if this value is bigger equal, and actually wait, let me just add this, an entire amount of this. If, and also remove the not, because we don't want to check if it is not, but we want to check if it actually is. And 2 1 and there is no other than 2 1. Actually, what we can do is just if this and this are equal. Wait, no, but that also doesn't work, because what if the lists aren't equal but we still overshot? Ooh, now actually for this I'm really quickly gonna program another function. This is probably gonna be a time lapse because I don't want the video to be super long. Okay, I'm back. I've just programmed this is RGB table bigger equal, which just checks for each item in the given table. If the second table is not bigger or equal to that, then we return false, because we know, hey, there is like one thing that still has to work with what it has. And down here I'll just repeat that for both subtables, and then yeah, we know, hey, this happened like this, and now I am going to actually have to reprogram this entire thing probably. So I'm actually gonna have to, if it's smaller, equal the original. So I'm actually gonna have to reverse all the cases. So let me real quick do a little time lapse again, because this is literally just rearranging stuff. Okay, and I'm back. I've just gone ahead and flipped all the cases for those. It's really not that hard. It is just take all the actually I forgot to flip a case here, very important. I do not do that. I just flipped everything for them. Minuses, what used, original equals used. Yeah, it's not that complicated. Here some flipped cases, and it should work way better now. And does it need the original image? No, it does not, because there is nothing for the original image to do. Just have wait time and fade intensity. So I should probably check what is going on now, and let's just hope it kind of works. I have actually not opened the file explorer onto these, so let me real quick just do that. So here I am again. I have just gotten this back, so let me real quick just replace it, please, and let's just reboot and see if it works. And it didn't work. Attempt to index global color, no value. Ah, did I do color and not colors? Yes, I did colors and not color, not colors. Rookie mistake. Colors. Unpack RGB. So that should be it. Let's just go back to real quick, just override it. It did do it, and then it did not. Attempt to compare number with Boolean. Bigger equal. if not used colors. What is going on? So it's in line 57. This is the first if not. Did I use it for wrong? These shouldn't be booleans. Number returns just numbers. Why do you say I try to compare number with boolean? Oh, because I didn't put these in brackets. It says not, and it probably thinks that like it returns false because it thinks I'm trying to right now see if there is no value for the variable I gave it. Doesn't like that I'm supposed to put it in brackets so it knows, hey, the case is actually like that I want to see if this statement is true or not. Okay, let me also really quickly just, yep, I've also done the same here. I have to put this, it's like these little mistakes you do. Okay, time to just... Oh shucks, I'm gonna have to probably like it now things. Yep, black is not its starting position. Wait, huh? What is going on? Why is going on? Why is it doing that? I have no idea. Sleep wait time. It does like coloring. Used colors table 1 and 2. For the used colors, it should. Well, let's add a print command that just tells me you're reversing. It doesn't have to be grammatically true, so I know when it tries to like reverse. Reversing. Okay, so it reverses, and then notices, hey, the original table is just as true. So go to Lua and colors dot like terms dot set background color, so we can see if I messed up here. Colors dot yellow. No, everything seems to be alright. Everything seems to be in order. I don't get why it's doing that. Colors unpack and used colors. It sets the colors to that. Then it does like a while up here. Oh, because I probably forgot to like render the sprite. That's it. What a smart move. Let me really quick just also set it to the logo, because now we actually have to do that. And then logo sprite render. What this will do is just render only the sprite and not actually the entire thing, which saves resources. So let me reboot. Oh wait, it's os.reboot. I don't know what happened. I did not think this would happen. You know what? Okay, I have a better idea. We actually don't do this. What we're actually gonna do is just not do a fade effect. I know, genius. No, but actually, like, I have no idea why it does that. I might actually use use again my good old friend ChatGPT to give me a script that does work, because I actually never mess around with colors that much. It's just too many values all at once, and if you overshoot a bit, it just it just doesn't look the way it should. So what I'm right now doing is just g dot underscore g dot, not local then. All I'm right now doing is just a little change in that, because UIs, I'm actually gonna make different UIs, and that is the startup UIs. UIs.startup. So I have like a startup UI. Yes. So let me just very quickly get this as a comment so it doesn't tell me, hey, you are not using me. That's a big ass comment. Okay. And now we'll just like show the logo. But what I want to do is next to whatever this is not, whoa, what is going on? Why are you doing that? Oh, right. Startup Lua, attempt to index OS UI another, oh, right, down here. OS UI got replaced with UIs.startup. Quit. And replace that again. I don't know what it just did. I'm just gonna replace it again and see what happens, and it just goes to instant yellow. Let me guess, because we have no actual like sleep time in between these, and quit doesn't actually clear the screen for some reason, because render is a bit broken currently. But there's no problem in here. I'll just term.set cursor pos to 1 and instead of waiting for like 3 seconds, let's like wait for 1 second, because I have to get on with the video, and the faster things happen the better. Reboot, and there we go, and it again goes like yellow, because it does clear the terminal, it's just it doesn't use black for it. Let's set background color, colors dot black, and set the thing to the big, and replace the startup. Let's see if that works. And it still sets to yellow, because probably internal things. No, because it set that to black after I wipe it. Sheesh, that's a lot of errors in one singular attempt to program something. Reboot. There we go, it works perfectly. But again, I want it to be centered, so what we need for that is actually we have to know how big is the screen, which we can get by, I'm just gonna go size, width and height equals term.getSize. That's good. But what does that help us? Well, what we can now do is we're gonna use math, or no, let me just introduce that later. We're gonna take the width minus the length of our logo, and divide that by 2. Now, of course, I can't take like 0.5 pixels is not a thing on the screen. I can't have 0.5 pixels. So, to do that, I'm just gonna use math.flow, which means always bring it down to the last element. Not the last element. Bring it down to the lowest, lowest real number. But another thing is, I don't actually have to do that here, because I already programmed that into the add sprite function. That's already in there. You can just literally type in this. But if you're working with actual screens and pixel sizes, you can't do that because it'll just tell you, hey, that's not a thing. Let me real quick reboot and get the biggest line. It's probably that one with the length of logo 2. I'm just gonna get 2. And let's see, width logo to the... Yeah, that should work. Let's just hope for the best. And it centers it along the X, but not along, yeah, because I again did a little oopsie and put it too far. Get this set up from here. And one thing that I have done is say, hey, this thing is screen bound, which means if it tries to move off screen, I'm just gonna put it at the lowest coordinate it can be, and that was the top corner. So RedOS, it now says RedOS. That's great. Now when we're on a computer, it tells us that we're on the RedOS. Great. Now this doesn't actually help us, so let me just real quick see how long the recording goes, and then I'll see if I put this in the next episode or if it's gonna be in this one. So, spoiler alert, the episode is already way too long, but I am going to put it in the next episode. The next episode, we are going to program the main screen, which is going to be like the place where you finally see what is the target for this OS. I am going to explain that in the next episode, so see you next time, and I hope you have an amazing day.